Hey YouTube, it's Lisa here from The Backward Glance, and today I'm doing another What Sold Quickly on eBay video. If you're new to my channel, basically what I do is share 10 items that flipped within the first 30 days of being listed in my eBay store. I am primarily a clothing seller, and 9 out of 10 of these items are apparel related, but as you can see here, I am starting with sort of a random hard good. My buyers pay shipping unless I say otherwise, so that's something to keep in mind. And usually I like to have a bonus at the end of these videos, but to be honest, I didn't have any sales interesting enough to put into a bonus. Sales are slowly kind of going back up. October was terrible. November has been okay. I would expect it to be better, but I will take what I can get. And with that said, we are going to get right into this video. So, item number 1 is a hard good. This falls into the category of one of the most random things I've ever picked up, and look how cute it is. It's a Mack truck hood ornament. This was at Goodwill. It was in a brand new bin that they were rolling out, and I scooped it up. Here it is from this side. There were lots of them listed. There's like several different variations, so I knew it wasn't going to be super valuable. Let's see, I paid $4.21 for it. I did get my full asking price of $32, and that took 3 days to sell. Next up is a pretty unexciting sale. I just picked up this Stafford woven wool blend blazer, size 42R, so super average size. Not a desirable brand, but blazers are classic. And when I picked this up, for some reason I thought that it was wool, and I got home and realized it was just a wool blend. So I didn't pay very much for it, so I wasn't too disappointed. I paid $2.25 for this. It was on sale at a smaller thrift store, and I sold it through offers to watchers for $18, and it took 10 days. This is not the kind of stuff I normally pick up, but in this situation it was one of those things where I wasn't finding a lot and I was just kind of trying to make the trip worth it, so it worked out in the end. Next is this vintage polo sport by Ralph Lauren hat, and some of these vintage polo hats can be really expensive. I have yet to find a good resource for kind of learning which ones are valuable, so if anybody knows of anything out there, let me know, because I found a few of these vintage polo hats in the past, and sometimes you just can't find comps. So this one I actually did find the same one listed for around $40. I didn't find any in the solds, so I went ahead and listed mine at $32. I paid $3.09 for this at a consignment store, and I did get my full asking price of $32, and it actually sold the same day that I listed it. This is the tag that was on the inside of that hat. And as you can see from the picture, like, it had obviously been worn and thrown through the wash, so it wasn't in perfect condition, but it didn't really have any flaws other than some fading on it. Alright, this is item number 4, and it is a Pendleton shirt. This one was 100% wool, and it had these like faux leather elbow patches on it. Here is the tag from this one. Not sure of the age on this. It wasn't vintage by any means, but Pendleton tags, there's a lot of them, but they're not that different from each other, so I'm not entirely sure. I didn't try and track down a date or anything. I paid $4.21 for this, and I got my full asking price of $28, and this sold on the same day that I listed it. Item 5 is a pair of women's shoes. These are Footprints by Birkenstock. Obviously, Birkenstock is a great name, so anything associated with that usually does pretty good. I paid $8.45 for these and sold them through offers to watchers for $28. That took 17 days. Not a huge profit margin, but I will pretty much always pick up Birkenstocks if I think I can make even a little bit of money on them. I've never found a pair of just regular Birkenstocks, oddly enough, but I have sold these Footprints a few times now. Item 6 is this Brooks Brothers dress, and this was 100% silk, including the lining, which I thought was really nice. A size 8, was in excellent condition. Here's the tag on it. Normally I don't pick up women's Brooks Brothers or even much men's Brooks Brothers. When I find women's, it's usually just like button-down shirts, and a lot of times they're really outdated, but this dress seemed really current, great fabric content, just really, really beautiful and classic shape and style. I picked it up for $4.25 and I sold it through Offers to Watchers for $38. That took 3 days. I've been listing a lot, so I had some kind of extra quick sales in this video, which is nice. Next is this pair of Beta brand dress yoga pants. These are the skinny leg in the charcoal gray. I used to get over 30 for these every single time. The price has really dropped, but the sell-through rate is still really strong. So I pick them up if I can get them decently cheap and flip them somewhere in the 20s now instead of the 30s. So I paid $4.25 for this pair and sold them through Offers to Watchers for $24. That took 3 days. And on these ones, the information on the back was really worn off, but you can see it says Beta brand there, and you can see small, and sometimes underneath that S would be like it would either say regular or petite or even petite short. So I did have to go on the website and measure, and they have, you want to make sure you're looking at like the skinny leg, the straight leg, whatever it is, the boot cut, and they have a size chart for each of those cuts to tell you like what the inseam should be. So these were irregular, they measured consistent with that. Alright, another pair of Spanx. I feel like I've had a lot of Spanx in my videos. Spanx assets, I always pick these up when I can get them for cheap. These ones also happen to have the stirrup on the bottom, which I don't think I've had a pair that had that. And just a size small heathered gray legging in good condition. Picked these up for $4.21. Sold them through Offers to Watchers for $20, and that took 5 days. This was, I think, my slowest sale that I still consider fast, because anything that I sell within 30 days I consider pretty quick. So this is just a Torrid tank top. The name of it was Sophie, and just like a geometric pattern. Pretty cute. Thought I might sit on it till summer, but glad that I didn't. So I paid $4.21 for this and sold it for a best offer of $16 after 27 days, and this was a Torrid size 3. So that's, I think, the biggest size that they sell in the store. I'm pretty sure there's a Torrid size 4 that you can buy online. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I like to pick them up in those bigger sizes. Probably wouldn't have picked this up in like a 0 or a 1. Oh, and of course, the Torrid tag that everybody, I believe, is familiar with at this point. And the last item is a new brand for me, but it's definitely one I'm going to keep an eye out for. This is called Peter Manning, and these jeans didn't have a style name or anything, but they had kind of a tapered, slim leg and a nice sort of medium dark wash. I picked these up at a consignment store. They were on like 80% off sale, so I got a good deal on them. There's the tag there, and then they have this logo on the back. It almost reminds me of like Nautica type feel to the logo. So I paid $3.80 for these. I got my full asking price of $32, and they sold in just 1 day. When I ran comps on these, I always filter for pre-owned items listed as buy it now. So I filter out auctions and I filter out new items. But so there were none listed when I got these, and like 7 sold. So that was a really good sign. All of the ones that sold were between $20 and $30. But since the sell-through rate was so strong, I decided to push the price up a little and see what happened, and it worked out. So I think that if some sellers kind of start listing this brand, we could actually push up the average sale price a little bit, kind of experiment with where the cap is on that. I did not look up how much these retail for or anything like that, but they were obviously a quality pair of jeans, which is why I picked them up in the first place. So maybe that was a new brand to you, I don't know. Hopefully you learned something from this video. As always, I love it when people leave comments. You can also feel free, of course, to like, dislike, or subscribe to my videos, and I really appreciate you watching today.